Kia ora koutou, day 24, and welcome. Today I realised that I've been staying up later when I can, and so it took me by surprise that it was almost 12 o'clock today by the time I had my breakfast and did a few other things. So I'm here feeling rather slow Saturday, and I will offer some forms where you can stay in them for a bit longer if you wish. What I do know is that sometimes it's hard to stay in forms longer, sometimes it's easier. So just work out what's best for you. And I'm offering a trauma-informed practice, always knowing that if you are not enjoying the practice or it doesn't feel right for you, you can always opt out. And also at any time, sometimes feelings can arise or sensations, and you can take a time out as well. So you get to move in a way that's useful for you. If you don't have a mat, you could always put down a towel, quilt or a rug. You don't need to have a mat to practice yoga. And all the forms I offer can be explored on a chair. So let's get started, Joan. Moving out of my complete slowness and, if you like, finding your way. Actually, maybe finding your way to a resting form. So if you're seated, perhaps bringing your elbows to your knees or possibly further down your legs. You may choose to have your knees together or knees apart. It's a choice. So if you like, maybe on your mat, perhaps sitting back on your ankles, maybe resting your forehead on your hands. Perhaps taking a moment in a resting form of your choice. And breathe in. So I'm going to time slightly longer periods in the resting form and other forms, but you're always welcome to move or to move into another form. So if you like, exploring your resting form and breathing. Perhaps bring your awareness to notice your breath is with you. One way of noticing your breath could be to count your inhales. When you get to 3 inhales, starting again. So possibly breathing in, count 1. Breathing in to count 2. Breathing in, count 3. And then if you like, starting again, breathing in, count 1. From here, perhaps finding your way onto all fours. And I've just realised this is going to be predominantly a floor practice today. So maybe finding your way to all fours, perhaps tucking your spine or dipping your spine, lifting your chin and looking up. In your own time, maybe curling your spine, tucking your chin and looking down. So how fast you move is up to you. If you're seated, what you may like to do is lengthen your front torso And possibly lifting your chin and looking up. In your own time, maybe curling your spine, tucking your chin and looking down. Possibly moving in your own rhythm. If you're interested, perhaps breathing in as you move in one direction and breathing out as you move in another direction. If you're moving your spine, you might feel sensation in your spine, might feel sensation in your abdomen, or possibly not at all. So maybe looking up, perhaps looking down and breathing, finding your way to resting in your own time. So you may like to sit back on your ankles, perhaps placing one great toe on top of your other great toe. If you like, resting your forehead on your hands, or perhaps extending your arms. So finding a resting form that works for you. If you're seated, you might like to bring your elbows to your knees and perhaps resting your forehead in your hands. Knowing you're welcome to move, perhaps bringing your awareness to notice where you make contact with the ground, Papatūānuku, or the surface beneath you. Maybe noticing your breath is with you. It ebbs and flows, comes and goes, and it's always there. From here, if you would like, perhaps moving onto all fours, or if you're seated, moving your torso. So if you're on all fours, maybe moving your torso. You might like to experiment with moving your torso in circles in either direction, or possibly from one side of your mat to the other side of your mat. Or a third choice could be forward and back. So if you like exploring moving your torso, maybe in circles, in either direction, possibly forward and back. Another option could be moving your torso from one side to your other side. So you might feel sensation, possibly where you make contact with the surface beneath you, or maybe in your torso. Always knowing that it's quite normal not to feel sensation. We often don't feel sensation, and that's normal. Noticing your breath is with you. Finding your way to resting in your own time. This time maybe switching and putting your opposite great toe on top of your great toe, maybe resting your forehead on your hands. Or if you like, extending your arms and breathing. So that's a choice. Maybe choosing your resting form. I'm going to offer a slightly longer period of time for this resting form. And you may like to move, perhaps bringing your awareness to notice that you're breathing. Maybe noticing your breath is with you. Ebbs and flows, comes and goes, and it's always there. Then in your own time, perhaps moving to explore what we sometimes call Tibetan. So this could be done on the chair or on the floor. So if you like, bringing your hands in front, if you're on all fours. If you like, bringing your weight to your hands and lifting your chin. And in your own rhythm, maybe moving your torso towards your ankles and breathing. Maybe moving forward and back in your own rhythm. If it's available to you, you may like to bring your hands in front, maybe tucking your toes, lifting your torso. If you like, bringing your weight to your hands and breathing out, maybe looking up. So maybe bringing your weight to your hands, perhaps looking up. So that's a choice. You could do that with your knees on the ground or lifting your torso. If you're seated on a chair, maybe bringing your hands to your knees. If you like, dropping your hands further towards the ground. And in your own time, maybe lifting your arms, perhaps looking up. You might feel sensation through your torso. In your own time, bring your hands to your knees, maybe lowering your hands to the ground. And if you like, looking up, maybe raising your arms. And you're welcome to explore this in your own rhythm. Finding your way to resting in your own time. Perhaps sitting back on your ankles. Maybe resting your forehead on your hands and breathing. If you like, bring your awareness to notice your breath is with you. Maybe counting your breath. If you're interested, perhaps extending your arms. And breathing. Knowing you're always welcome to move in the form. There is no requirement to be still. Perhaps bringing your awareness to notice that your breath is with you. Ebbs and flows, comes and goes. It's always there. So from here, if you would like to move to seated, a few options for seated. Today I'm going to be kneeling. So maybe sitting back on my ankles and if you like, bring a cushion behind you, maybe sitting on a cushion and breathing. So you're welcome to have your legs crossed or in whatever configuration you like. But if you're interested, maybe finding kneeling. And sometimes we need a little bit more support. We might not want to kneel so low. Always your choice. So if you like, finding your expression of seated mountain, maybe bringing your shoulders over your torso. If you like, bringing your head, balance on your shoulders. I just realised that actually I could bring my shoulders over my ankles in this form. Perhaps sitting up tall and breathing. If you like, turning your palms out. And then in your own time, maybe lifting and lowering your arms. So how you lift and lower is up to you. One option could be sun breaths, maybe bringing your hands to touch above your head. If you like, turning your palms out, maybe lifting and lowering. If you're moving your arms, scoop it along a little bit. If you're moving your arms, you might feel sensation in your shoulders, maybe your arms. If you're interested, you could coordinate your breathing with your movement. Perhaps breathing in as you move in one direction, maybe breathing out as you move in another direction. Perhaps breathing and moving. Finding your way to neutral in your own time. Finding your expression of seated moanga, always knowing you can explore these forms standing. And then if you're interested, perhaps moving into a different seated form. Always knowing it's okay to have maybe a cushion under your seat, can often offer you support. So if you like, moving to cross-legged. Maybe noting which leg is in front. Then if you like, leaning to your side, perhaps raising your arm. In your own time, maybe leaning to your side, possibly raising your arm and breathing. If it's of interest, you could look towards your arm. It's a choice. You're welcome to switch from one side to your other side. Maybe raising your arm, perhaps leaning to your side and breathing. Exploring your leaning to your side. Finding your way back to your neutral. And if you are seated cross-legged, you may like to switch, maybe switching your opposite foot to the front. It might feel different. And if you like, lengthening your spine, finding your expression of seated moanga. Breathing. Then if you're interested, perhaps bringing one hand behind your head and your other hand behind your back. And breathe in, knowing you can move in and out of this form at any time. You might, that might be unique to me, you might feel sensation in your shoulders, and you may feel sensation somewhere else. You don't have to feel sensation where I say. So maybe bringing one hand behind your back, one hand behind your head, your shoulders. Then in your own time, maybe switching, perhaps bringing one hand behind your shoulders, behind your head, and one hand behind your back. And breathe in. Knowing at any time you're welcome to switch. Perhaps noticing your breath is with you. If you like, looking forward and breathing. Finding your way back to your neutral in your own time. And if you're interested, perhaps moving your shoulders, maybe moving your shoulders in circles or lifting and lowering. If you're interested in moving your shoulders and breathing. Then if you like, moving to explore a twist. So you could have the legs extended, so I'm going to extend my legs today, that's a choice. And maybe bring my right hand to my right knee and my left hand behind me and sitting up tall. So perhaps bringing your right hand to your left knee and your left hand behind you. I think I've got that right today. Perhaps twisting. If you like, bringing your chin to your shoulder. And at any time, you're welcome to switch. You might feel sensation through your abdomen. That's only a possibility. So in your own time, maybe moving back to your neutral. If you like, bring your left hand to your left knee and your right hand behind you. If you like, sitting up tall. Perhaps bringing your chin to your right shoulder and breathing. So exploring a twist and knowing at any time you're welcome to switch. So maybe twisting and breathing. Finding your way back to your neutral in your own time. If you are extending your legs, you may like to move your feet, possibly in circles, or if you like, lifting and lowering. Maybe moving your feet, maybe lifting and lowering your toes, perhaps moving them forward and back. Then if you like, perhaps leaning forward, so maybe with your legs extended, actually perhaps bringing the soles of your feet together. Knowing that you're always welcome to bring a cushion or some books in to support your legs. If you like, bringing the soles of your feet together, perhaps sitting up tall, maybe bringing your hands to your knees, perhaps tucking your chin, or if it's available, maybe bringing your hands to your feet and breathing. So I'm going to offer a slightly longer time to be in this form. You're welcome to move out of it at any time. Maybe moving to leaning back, perhaps leaning forward. You get to choose. Perhaps leaning forward and breathing. Knowing at any time you're welcome to move in and out of your form. If you're interested, perhaps tucking your chin. Maybe bringing your hands to your knees or closer to your feet. If you're interested, you could count your breaths, maybe counting your inhales until you get to 3, and then starting again. Knowing at any time you're welcome to move. Maybe moving in and out of your form. Being guided by your body. Perhaps noticing that you're breathing, that your breath is with you, ebbs and flows, comes and goes, and it's always there. In your own time, guiding yourself back to your upright, and perhaps moving into resting form, maybe child form. If you're seated, perhaps bringing your elbows to your knees, if you like, resting your forehead on your hands. Or another option could be to sit up back on your ankles, maybe leaning forward, perhaps resting your forehead on your hands. I'm going to offer another resting form. So this time, what you may like to do is perhaps offer it seated as well, but if you're on your mat, maybe coming to all fours. If you like, extending your arms. So maybe kneeling, perhaps bringing your forehead to the ground and breathing. So that's a choice. You may want to sit back on your ankles. If you are seated, what you may like to do is lengthen your front torso, perhaps leaning forward and maybe extending your arms. So maybe looking forward, perhaps leaning forward, maybe extending your arms. And breathing. At any time, moving in or out of the form, perhaps leaning forward, maybe looking forward and breathing. And then in your own time, you may like to find your way to on your abdomen on the floor, what we sometimes call seal form. If you're seated, maybe extending your legs, perhaps moving to the front of your chair. If you like, raising your arms, perhaps bending your elbows and breathing. Anytime, you're welcome to extend your arms. You're also welcome to move into a resting form at any time. So So if you're on your mat, maybe in seal form, you might like to experiment with pressing your hands into the ground, maybe looking up, possibly feeling sensation in your abdomen. Anytime lifting and lowering. In your own time, you're welcome to move to a resting form. Maybe resting your forehead on your hands and breathing. You might like to move. You're always welcome to move. And you might feel the sensation of where you make contact with the ground, up to Anuku. So if you wanted to explore a form where you move onto your side, what you may like to do is extend both arms. I don't quite have enough room to extend that one, so I will fold it. So maybe extending both arms, if you like, bringing your cheek to rest on your mat. So maybe extending your arms, bring your cheek to rest on your mat. And if you like, bringing the hand which you can see close to your shoulder. And if you're interested, maybe pressing that hand into the ground, maybe rolling towards your side and breathing. So maybe pressing the hand into the ground, pressing your hand into the ground, if you like, rolling to your side and breathing. And at any time, you're welcome to switch, perhaps bringing your opposite cheek to your mat, maybe bringing the hand that you can see close to your torso and rolling to your side. Maybe feeling sensation in your shoulders. If you're seated on a chair, what you may like to do is extend your arms, perhaps bringing one hand to your shoulder. And if you like, turning. So maybe turning to look at your outstretched hand. You bring both hands to your shoulders, extending one arm and turning to look at your outstretched hand and breathing. You might feel sensation in your shoulders, and you might feel nothing at all, and that is perfectly normal. So in your own time, finding your way maybe onto your back to perhaps explore some forms, moving your knees. If you're on your chair, maybe sitting a little bit forward, finding a way to move your knees. And you might move both knees together or individually. You might choose to lift your feet off the ground, maybe moving your knees. Always welcome to lean back on your chair, or maybe lifting one knee, maybe moving one knee. Maybe moving your right knee. Then if you like, perhaps moving your left knee. So if you're on your mat, maybe moving onto your back. And if you like, exploring moving your knees. You may want to move your knees quite quickly, perhaps from left to right. So in your own time, maybe bringing feet flat on the ground, maybe moving your knees from your left to your right, right to left. And there is a possibility you begin to notice the change in sensation where you make contact with the ground, Papatoa Nuku. Another option could be to lift your feet off the ground and possibly moving your knees forward and back, or from one side to your other. So maybe moving your knees right to left, left to right, and breathe. So in your own time, finding a way to possibly moving your knees. Then if you like, moving to your neutral. And if you're interested, maybe lifting, this is the last form for today, maybe lifting and lowering your leg. Knowing how much you lift and lower, it's up to you. If it's interest, maybe lifting and lowering both legs. It's a choice. Perhaps noticing your breath is with you. Ebbs and flows, comes and goes, and it's always there. The breath is always with you. So when you're ready, you might like to find a resting form that works for you. You may like to have your feet on a chair, legs up the wall, seated, lying down, whatever works for you. And I'm going to offer a brief body scan exercise and then an opportunity to close your practice. Make myself comfortable. So finding a resting form that works for you. In your own time, maybe taking a breath. And if you like, bringing your awareness to notice where you make contact with the surface beneath you. Maybe looking, perhaps moving. As you take another breath, maybe bringing your awareness to notice the support beneath you. Perhaps noticing the support of the surface beneath you. I'm going to offer a body scan exercise, and as always, you're welcome to tune my voice out. If you want to, you could take your mind to the parts I name, or your hand, and do know you could move that part if you wish. And you're always welcome to move, even in resting form. There is no requirement to be still. So when you're ready, maybe bringing your awareness to notice sensation at your eyebrow center. Sensation in your jaw, maybe moving your jaw. Sensation in your neck. Sensation in the whole of your right arm. Sensation in your neck. Sensation in the whole of your left arm. Sensation in your neck. Aroha, your heart center. Your upper abdomen, sensation in your upper abdomen. Your lower abdomen. Sensation in your whole leg, all of your right leg. Sensation in your lower abdomen. Sensation in the whole of your left leg, all of your left leg. Sensation in your lower abdomen. Sensation in your upper abdomen. Aroha. Sensation at your heart center. Sensation in your neck. Sensation in your jaw, maybe moving your jaw. Sensation at the tip of your nose. And sensation at your eyebrow center. Sensation in the whole of your body. Sensation in your entire body, the whole of your body all together. I'm going to offer some silence and then an opportunity to close your practice. I'll ring a chime at the end of the silence. So do know there's no hurry to move. You may like to wriggle your fingers and toes before you move. Do know there's no hurry to move. And when you do decide to move, perhaps if you're on your mat, maybe moving to rest on your side. If you're interested, perhaps taking a moment to acknowledge your practice. Perhaps it was to nurture yourself or connect with yourself. So if you like, acknowledging your practice to yourself. So from my home in a wet Dunedin, take care. My heart goes out to you at this time, day 24. Hopefully things will change soon. Take care. Kia kaha. See you tomorrow, same time, 12 midday.